Welcome back to the front office. We're doing our first ever front office fantasy waiver wire best ever pickups right now. First up,
best ever.
Mark.
Ever. Hey man, I got Justin Hunter, and I've got Doug Baldwin, and I've got Brian Hoyer. I picked these guys because they had solid, well, except for Doug Baldwin. I'll explain Doug Baldwin. Justin Hunter and Brian Hoyer both had solid previous weeks, all right? And then what I really like about them as well is they've got great weeks coming up. Justin Hunter, despite them losing their game to Cleveland, still put up, I think it was about 15 points. That's pretty solid on a receiver. And he's got Jacksonville and Washington coming up. Sorry, Leo, but I just feel like he's going to be a solid guy to have for the next couple weeks. He's going to do some damage. He's going to be a reliable asset. Brian Hoyer as well. I feel like he's starting to get things in hand in Cleveland. And he put up 21 fantasy points. I mean, the Browns made a huge comeback to win that game. Good for them. Their schedule coming up is looking good for them. They've got Pittsburgh, who's kind of in a weird limbo there. We don't know what's going on, if they're going to bounce back or what's going to happen. I think he's going to be a good pick there. And then he's got Jacksonville and Oakland coming up. Those are great schedules for those guys. Now, Doug Baldwin, I picked him just because I like the matchup that he's got coming up. And Doug Baldwin, to me, is one of these guys. Yeah, his past weeks, he's only put up a handful of points, but he's going to put up a big game. And I feel like in his matchup against Dallas, that's a game that we're going to see him put up points. Yeah, it's going to be. I think it's going to happen. Those are my picks.
So my thoughts. One, I don't think I can trust Seahawks receivers. Two,
true.
God hates Cleveland.
Three,
Justin Hunter, not very bad. Not bad. Yeah, if I were to cross-examine, I'd say Justin, well, not necessarily trying to put yours down, but if I was going to add to them, Justin Hunter.
That's how this is going to go.
Justin Hunter had 75-yard touchdown pass, buoyed his stats quite a bit, but that is his game. He's a deep ball guy. I think he can do that against Jacksonville and those kind of teams. Brian Hoyer would like to see him perform better in the first half, but he does seem to have this knack for pulling things out of his Cleveland end and then going with it. And then,
I mean, the thing is even in his previous weeks, he still put up at least 15 points, and last week 21. So even if he doesn't put up 30 points, he's still going to put up decent points.
Go with Hoyer.
I mean, the quarterback situation in general is terrible.
What are your picks? Here are my much better picks over here. First, Brandon Oliver, the running back for the San Diego Chargers. He wears number 43, so there are Darren Sproles comparisons abound.
What was he up to this weekend?
What was he up to this weekend? He was up to putting 30 points on the board this weekend.
He's up for trade in Jordan's league.
Those points were sitting on my bench.
On your bench.
It doesn't matter, though, because I still won.
He
outscored Calvin Johnson, Kelvin Benjamin, Zach Stacy, and possibly my quarterback combined. But nonetheless, he's a great receiving threat. He's got a lot of wiggle to him. A little bigger than Darren Sproles, a little heftier, but he's got a lot of wiggle, good speed, able to break off a big one. And in a running back situation in San Diego that is not ideal and not set in stone by any means. There's no
opportunity.
I can't say Adrian Peterson anymore because he's not there. There's
He's
no
DeMarco
Murray's back there.
Used to it.
Yeah,
DeMarco Murray is still.
We'll throw him. Hey, he's got some good company.
It's true.
In a non-DeMarco Murray backfield, he has a chance to continue to be productive, and they had Danny Woodhead for that same role, and he's going to fill that. I think he's going to be great. My long-term pick, my long value pick, some guy you're going to store on your bench. You're not going to necessarily start right away. Storm Johnson for Jacksonville Jaguars. Amazing name.
Love that name.
Went to college with Blake Bortles. I saw them pick him in the 7th round, and I said, boom, that's somebody to watch. With Blake starting, they have chemistry right off the bat. There's nobody taking control of that running back situation in Jacksonville. Toby Gerhart has been absolute bust. Jannard Robinson was never going to work. Just a terrible football player.
Love me some Denard.
I'm sorry.
Love me some Denard Robinson.
I would say...
No, you had your turn.
No. You guys got to cross-examine me.
I haven't finished. I haven't finished.
Oh, God.
And then I have Jarius Wright, wide receiver for the Minnesota Vikings. I think you saw what happens when Teddy Bridgewater and him are on the field at the same time, and he's only going to get up. Big playmaker for Arkansas back in the day. I think he can get that started. Now you can speak, Mark.
I have nothing to say.
Okay, great. Mark, just the angry iron. He's like the angry guy.
You're just angry today.
He's like just the angry guy.
They fucking shit on everything I said. Didn't shit on each other's. Only shit on mine. I'm done with that.
Wait, where's the
No
B-roll?
more fantasy picks. No more fantasy picks
Oh
for
my
me
God.
at all. Period. End of story.
You're like the angry guy that just lost his life savings at Vegas
That's
gambling.
all there is to it.
Peter.
All right, for my picks, I'm starting off.
I'm
with
not gonna
the-
shit on anybody's face.
With the layup of the week, Ronnie Hillman for Denver Broncos.
Oh, come on! Any running back.
Monte Ball out. Hillman had some flashes last year when there were an opportunity for carries.
Right.
He's a quick guy. He can come in a little slender, but Monte played well, not great. It's always those Peyton offenses. You never sort of know who's going to end
Right.
up with the carries. If they can, it's execution. I mean, Sean Moreno came in last year and surprised.
Right.
If you can pass block, you'll get carries. You might do well.
Mhm.
So someone to look at. And then my other two are somewhat sentimental picks. Older gentlemen, more established veterans of the NFL, if you will.
The great names.
Kenny Britt for the St. Louis Rams and Michael Vick with the New York Jets. Kenny Britt has burned me numerous times, but the last couple weeks
He's gonna burn you again.
5 for 69,
Going
3 for 68,
Going up against
and a
San Francisco,
touchdown.
bro.
He's got those skills. He's had injury issues in the past, but Kenny Britt has a chance to really.
No, there's no chance.
You know
He
what?
doesn't have a
If
chance.
he can work on that chemistry,
Certainly not this week.
with Mr. Davis, I think something could really happen.
There's no chemistry
And
that's
then
working
Michael
in
Vick
St.
with
Louis.
the Jets. I will just say that there's nobody I've ever enjoyed watching more in professional sports than Michael Vick. And if there's anything I can do that gives me more of a rooting interest in what he's doing, I will do it. And if that means picking him up for my fantasy team when there's very little chance that he'll actually play, and it's probably going to be Geno Smith unless they're getting blown out in a game against the Chargers, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And you should do it too, because it's a goddamn blast.
I love that pick too.
Yeah.
I love it because Geno Smith hasn't been doing anything.
nothing. He's been doing nothing.
Rex Ryan clearly doesn't know how to run an offensive football team. Zero
Defensive genius. Offensively, just nothing there.
clue. No,
Nothing.
it's like a special needs kid trying to like break into a safe or
It's
something.
like the greatest defensive coordinator of all time, and you just can't deny him that head coaching role. But at the same time, it
Right.
doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just can't figure it out. I think they had less than 75 passing yards last week, which is a new record for futility
Yeah.
in the NFL. But
Abject futility.
there you go.
Abject.
There you go. Those are waiver wire picks. We'll see.
Yeah.
Don't pick any of mine.
No, his
Clearly,
his
they
are
suck.
his are garbage. Mine they're very sentimental, but his are actually probably pretty good. So yeah, check it out. We'll be right back.
Mark's just seething.
I think it brings out the color of your eyes.
Thank you. This is a fantastic shirt.
It makes me feel like I'm on vacation.
Let me know when you guys are done.
That's why I had to do it. Is like I was like, just that reference just has to stick.
That was great.
Please tell me that was running.
I got like a little bit of like maybe not the punchline. I don't know.
Oh,